Hello and welcome to Truth and Judgment. Today is Media Monday, and we have a movie review for you guys. We watched Ready or Not in theaters, and we have a few thoughts to say on the matter.
Now, before we continue, there are plenty of spoilers in this. So if you want to go see the movie for yourself and not know what's going to happen, please turn back now. No, I mean like now. All right, are we good? Everybody still here? All right, sweet.
Cool. So without further ado, I'm Titus.
And I'm Alex. Let's jump right into it. So Titus, before we go ahead and start, let me ask you: would you recommend would you rewatch this movie with somebody?
I would watch this movie again if I were like with a group of friends who wanted to see it. I mean, it was definitely entertaining enough, but I wouldn't like buy the movie for myself. What about you?
I totally understand what you mean, although I don't think I would actually pay to go see it in theaters again. But if I were at a friend's house and it was on Netflix or Hulu or something like that, and they wanted to watch it, I'd probably rewatch it with them. It was pretty decent.
Yeah. So what were some of the more enjoyable parts of the movie for you?
Well, there were a couple parts that I really enjoyed. Mainly, it's a theme throughout the entire movie. It's this dark humor, particularly the scenes where each of the maids die. There's three of them, and they just die so brutally each time. Um, and the setup for it, the way that it's done, the way that it's folded into the plot, just it made me laugh because it was just so dumb but funny how it happened. And with that being said, I think that really to appreciate everything about this movie, you really need to have a really dark sense of humor because it's really dark. And also, my other favorite scene would be the final scene from where she just lets loose this unearthly, nonsensical, primal war cry almost while she's holding this ceremonial dagger. From that point all the way to where she she's outside sitting on the stairs smoking a cigarette. Everything in between that I thought was great. The way that each of the family members just started exploding when they failed to complete the ritual, and the particularly where this invisible demon is sitting in this chair and he just nods his hat at Grace, the main character who survived, like I'm letting you live.
Yeah, I agree. I like that part too, especially when they all see the sunlight and they all like cower in fear like they're vampires or something, but nothing happens and everybody just sits there like, has my whole life been a lie?
Yeah.
um, I also like the part when she like rips off the bottom of her dress and she's wearing her Converses because it gives you this feeling like the real game's about to start now. The rules have been established. She had her game face on. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, what would you say the worst things about the movie were?
I thought it was weird that this family like depends on this game for their livelihood, right? And if they fail to complete this one game in particular, they all die. And no one seems to have had any formal training with these ancient weapons that they're using, on the off chance that somebody just happens to pull this card. And, you know, it has happened in the past that they've pulled this card too, right? It's unbelievable. Also, it seems like this family doesn't have any kind of strategy to win this game either. No one uses the service corridors. They stay in like a tight knit group and they don't split up or separate the house into different sections. And do Scooby Doo style, right? If your life depended on it, you would make it a point to have some sort of strategy prepared or practice ahead of time. What do you think?
I agree with that sentiment. Although I think I had a couple points where I really didn't agree with the movie because there were pretty major plot holes just like that one. One of those being she manages to escape and she's running away, and this butler comes up in the car and they get into a power struggle. She manages to knock his gun away and choke him out. And then she doesn't take the gun. She just jumps into the car and starts driving. So, I mean, if we're going to explain that she didn't pick up the gun because she was in such a hurry, we can assume that she's really hitting the gas. She's sailing down the road. And she's driving for probably close to 2 or 3 minutes. So we can assume that she's at least a few miles away at this point. And
Mm-hmm.
then the guy that she calls on the OnStar essentially shuts her car down because it's reported stolen. And about 30 seconds after that, boom, that guy's there.
Yeah.
And I mean, not even an Olympic level runner could get that far. She should have had the time to open the door and escape or break the window and escape. So it just wasn't too believable in that sense. And then the other part would be that her husband didn't tell her about this game at all. And he could have at least somewhat warned her, like, hey, on our wedding night, we got to play this game so that you're properly introduced and like you're properly inducted into the family.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have said, there is a chance that you draw a card where you're going to be in a lot of danger, where you could possibly die. But he doesn't do that. And
Mm-hmm.
then after the game starts and he basically saves her, she she's trying to escape and he's helping her. He unlocks the door so she can get outside, and once he gets handcuffed to his bed, he does nothing but try to escape so that he can find her and help her get away. And then at the end of the movie, without any warning, he does this total character switch with no progression of his character at all so far in the movie, except for he needs to save his wife, to being, I'm now going to be the one that stabs my wife in the heart for this sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't really understand that. But I mean, that's really all I have to say about it. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this movie and would you recommend it to somebody else?
I think I would rate it about a 6, you know? Like, I enjoyed it, and it definitely had its problems as well, but, you know, I can see myself recommending this movie depending on the person. If I think they would enjoy it and have a good time, then yeah, of course, I'd say go ahead and watch it.
Yeah, I'd probably give it about a 5. I thought it was decent, but it wasn't really great. Not even necessarily good. But I would
Mhm.
also recommend it to somebody who's a fan of dark comedy. Um, it was also in the horror genre, but I didn't really feel that it lived up to the horror. I thought it was more of a thriller myself. So I would recommend it on the basis of dark comedy. But I think that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that's about it. So, with let us know what you think, guys think. You know, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of the hot topics. And tell us it down in the comment section down below if you have seen this movie or if you were thinking about going to see it and what you thought of it. You know, we always like to hear feedback from you guys, so go ahead and leave a comment down below.
This has been Veritas et Eudicium. Thank you and goodbye.